Hello again, it's Ty. I'm down at the farm today. This is day 2 of the YouTube video. If you actually watched day 1 and came back for day 2, thank you. If you haven't watched day 1 yet, go back and see where I started this project, and you'll see, hopefully, if everything goes well and the weather holds out, we'll get finished today. We've got to finish spreading the fertilizer on the corn, then we're going to plant a food plot, and we've got to fertilize some other grass, plant some sweet corn in the garden, and that's hopefully all on today's agenda. But it is North Alabama, it's May 23rd, and it's a 50% chance of rain. It's already rained here once, but it didn't rain in my house 5 miles away. So who knows what the weather does, but we'll get all we can get done when we can get it done. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see how it goes. So I made it back up to the corn patch here. I'm going to start where I left off yesterday. I had to quit because of a graduation party, so I didn't get finished. But I marked my spot in the row with a stick stuck in the ground. So I'm going to back up right there to where I left off. A couple things to mention here. I'm going to be out of my corn here to pour up my ammonium nitrate. If you get the ammonium nitrate in a big wad in any one place, it will obviously burn whatever is right where you spill it. So always load your hopper outside of the area that you're fertilizing, because you don't want to burn any one spot. And I think I've already said it's 50% chance of rain today. Something I learned somewhere along the way is to bring a garbage bag and cover your hopper, because the last thing you want to do is to get this 3400 wet. So I'm going to wait on that because the sun is shining now. If I need it, I'll cover it. But I want to show you one more thing. When I watched the video last night, and it was the first time I'd ever videoed anything or edited anything, so that was quite a learning experience. But at 1 o'clock this morning, I finally got done. Anyway, so one thing I realized is I was running over too much corn because of the sway and the way it's bouncing around. So on this tractor, every tractor is a little different. You can control the sway. Frankly, I like having enough room this way and this way for different implements, but every implement is different. And you can change where these are laid out for different things, and you can change the sway here as well as the height adjustment. So again, every tractor is different, but it can all be detailed exactly how you want it. I'm gonna take out a little bit of the sway, but since I'm only doing one row at a time, I frankly need some sway to get it to the left, in this case, of the row. So as you see the way I've got it set up, the row of corn is here. I've got it swaying to the left, so I can go right down beside the row and again not get the fertilizer on the corn and burn it. So I need some sway. I'm gonna take a little of that sway out of it by adjusting this screw right here. Just pull it over to the side and turn this. You may have to have a wrench, may have to have pliers. Hopefully you can take enough weight on it, you can turn it. Again, every tractor is different, but to take out some of that sway and it won't be going too far to the left or right. All right, so just finished up the fertilizing the corn. I did these last couple rows here by hand just because I was getting short rows and I was running over more than I wanted to. You'll see a few of these stalks got run over. If anybody's watching, put in the comments whether or not you think some of this stuff will stand back up or not. But I had some really pretty rows here right next to the edge where I planted watermelons. All down through there I planted watermelons, and I really didn't want to run over that prettiest row there, so I did all this by hand, and we'll see how it goes. All in all, the side dresser is an amazing implement. The way it puts it out right beside the stalk is great. As I said in the video yesterday, the fact that this was laid out for 2 rows, but my tractor could only do 1 row at a time, caused me to run over corn that I regret, of course. And the rows, my neighbor set up is getting a Massey Ferguson. I said to McCormick yesterday, it's a Massey Ferguson tractor. His is set up for with a 2-row planter. If we had that, we could have just gone right down the same rows and fertilized 2 rows at a time, and the side dresser would have been perfect for that. So got to come back. You'll see right here is a place where my Roundup didn't work. It's a wide swath. I think the sprayer must have just stopped spraying, because I don't think I would have missed that big a gap. But I'll come back with the golf cart and a sprayer and spray Roundup on this section to kill that. There's a little gap right over in there. You can see a gap, but I'll spray it and a little up the edge there. But all in all, I think it's going to work. So more to come on this, and we're about to change the side dresser, put on a layoff plow, middle buster, lay off some rows and plant some sweet corn, and plant a food plot with more of this Roundup Ready corn. Stay tuned. Click the like, click the subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. So finished up the fertilizer, ammonium nitrate 3400, and I had a fair amount left here in the spreader side dresser, so I'm gonna scoop it out. I don't want to waste it by any means before I wash this thing out. So anyway, I'm gonna scoop all this out, save it. We're gonna do this same thing here in a couple of weeks on our dove field. You'll get to watch the video. We plant a few acres in a dove field every year with sunflowers and corn and millet and just whatever seed we can get our hands on, we'll plant it. So you'll see us using this side dresser and ammonium nitrate again in a few weeks to fertilize the dove field. So I'm gonna scoop this up. I had one bag left over, so I put in not quite 200 pounds, probably about 180 pounds on that 2.5 acres that we just fertilized. If you missed the earlier videos, that's mainly for the deer and that sort of thing. So it's not that important to be just right, but if you do not fertilize corn, you will not produce any corn. You'll have corn plants, but you will not have corn seeds. So you have to fertilize it. I didn't want to spend too much money, but I had to spend some, otherwise I wouldn't get any yield. So I'm gonna scoop this out, save all I can, and then we'll put the middle buster on there to lay off some rows and plant the other sweet corn and food plot. All right, so one of the beauties of working by your parents' house is Mom brings out a fresh fried pie. So you can't beat that for a little break here. Don't tell her, but it wasn't quite warm still. So I put it on the front bucket with the sun bearing down the black bucket to heat it back up. Just kidding, kinda. But anyway, so taking a little break here as I eat my pie and put on the middle buster. So same thing applies here with middle buster. You set your top link and you're gonna take the sway out of here. Gotta put that last pin in and I'm done. But not real precise here, just laying off some rows so I can get those straight to come back later and be able to take care of those. But anyway, so I got that on, about to go up and lay off those rows and plant the food plot. So that pass did much better, just a scrape here. I'm gonna come through with my foot and just put this back in. I don't want it to be so deep. Just gonna rake it. Terrible camera work here, I know, but basically all I'm doing is I'm just raking one side of the furrow back in with my foot, and that way the corn won't be so deep. So what we're doing here is dropping in this shallow row, and then as we drop it, you can see I drop it about every 6 inches apart. This is sweet corn. They call it sweet G90. Some people call it G90X. It's very similar to peaches and cream. Corn's kind of like cars. Some people like Silver Queen, some people like peaches and cream. To me, they're all the same. But anyway, we plan on put a little triple 10. You can see the white flakes there. That's triple 10 fertilizer. And then drop the seed about every 6 inches. I'll walk in it to get good soil contact with the seed. And then we come back with our feet and just rake it in like so. And cover it up. Corn has a very deep root system. So if you cover it a little deep, like I said a while ago, that row is a little deep, it should be fine. So we will get it planted and let you know how it goes in a few weeks. So here is the garden spot. The everything's planted, the great blue heron instead of a scarecrow. Planted this back into March. The soil temperature has not done well here at all. We've got cucumbers, squash, tomatoes, peppers, green beans, okra, just a little bit of everything planted. Plant some peas here in a few weeks, and we'll plant maybe some sweet potatoes if I can find some potato slips. I gotta find some sweet potato slips. I didn't slip any potatoes this year, and haven't in years. Okay, man, I wish I had my cameraman. This would be a whole lot easier. Maybe tomorrow. So I'm trying to take this up high so you can see really over me, but my iPhone, if I just show the video without anybody in it, it seems to want to turn off after, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds. This is day 2 of making YouTube videos. I'm going to have to get a YouTube camera of some sort, maybe a GoPro or something, in order to make this work. But anyway, behind me you can see the farm way off in the distance. You can see the old barns and everything where my grandparents lived. And this is about a 20-acre field behind me. And you can see the teal parts are the dove field. I'll go up a little higher. Everything tilled has been planted. Planted corn already and sunflowers already. I don't know of anything else this year, but several years ago, I came down to this corner down here. I'll turn around and face this way. Just the corner of the field, and just fenced it off. You can see the electric fence here beside me. We separate the cows, what they can and cannot get in at different times of the year with this electric fence. But I took this end here, and I wish you could have seen it a month ago. It was grown up in briars. It looked like that 3 weeks ago. So what I came in and bush hogged it all down, sprayed it with Roundup the same day, and burned it all down. Came in a week later after everything had died, maybe 10 days later, everything was good and dead, and I ran my new disc harrow, new to me disc harrow, I bought it from my neighbor. Ran that over 2 or 3 times, got it all disc done pretty well, and then came back a week later after it rained on it a couple times and took my tiller and just went fairly slow. I didn't just go low gear slow like I usually do when I'm tilling a garden, but put it in first gear and ran the tiller over it and got it in good shape. So now what I'm gonna do is put this middle busters on there. I'm gonna lay off rows and plant Roundup Ready corn. A farmer gave me this Roundup Ready corn, so I'm using it. This is mainly, again, feed the deer, give the deer some cover. We'll also use this as cover as part of this dove field like I'm talking about. You know, the doves will be coming over. You can stand out here in this standing corn and shoot dove. But, you know, the seed was free. That's why I'm planting it, and I'm gonna do the best I can to make it make something. I'll put in a little 10 fertilizer on it today to get it started, and then we'll use the side dresser here in a few weeks after it gets up about 6 to 10 inches tall. We'll spray it with Roundup and fertilize it again. So that's the plan here today. I will not be able to video much on running the rows, or I may set up the time lapse over here if I can figure out how to do that. Again, I need my son, who's a 13-year-old tech specialist. He can set up all this. But anyway, I'll set up a time lapse. I will lay it all off with the middle buster, drop the corn by hand, drop the fertilizer by hand, and then cover it up with the tractor. Hope for the best. I want to get down here in the shade to show you. There's the ladder stand. This is the corner. You can see the fence post there in the corner, all the woods. You got about 16 acres of woods there. Come around this way and you've got woods that go forever back in that direction, connected one way or the other. But this is kind of a natural pinch point. These deer like to cross right here in this corner. I also forgot to tell you, here in the corner of the field where we're planting is only about it's 50 yards by 20 yards. That's 9,000 square feet, which is 0.2 of an acre. I'll only do the top third of it, maybe top half of it in this corn, because you get close to the woods, it doesn't do any good. We'll come back later, back in the fall, and plant a traditional green field in that part of it. And hopefully we'll still be making videos. If you will like it, subscribe. I'll keep making videos and you can see me plant that food plot this fall. Being 9 rows of corn here, and I don't want these big humps, so I'm going to plant the corn, cover it, and then maybe either come back with a landscape rake or the tiller, and set the tiller just very lightly just to cover the top but not get into the corn. So if anybody's watching, like it, tell me what to do. Landscape rake while I'm clearing the trails, or tiller. I can't do it today because one of my friends has my landscape rake. They're planting green fields, and they're planting soybeans for their green fields. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. But anyway, he's got my landscape rake doing that today. So maybe one day next week I'll have that back. But y'all tell me in the comments if anybody is watching, landscape rake or tiller, barely scratching the ground.